Hello guys, Charles here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you that lick you just heard, which is a 2-5-1 using a mediant relation, which us jazzers better know as the Coltrane changes. I was also pivoting a fixed chord structure around a common tone, and I'm going to be showing you what all of that stuff means in today's lesson. So the Coltrane changes are the natural evolution of what we discussed in the Spice Up Your 2-5-1s video, which you can see up here, which was Barry Harris's family of four. The family of four idea was that using a diminished chord as our structure, we can replace any chord type with the three related diminished degrees. The John Coltrane changes, or mediant relation, which means related by thirds, instead of using a diminished structure, are built around an augmented structure, so they transpose in major thirds. Now the main difference is that a diminished seventh chord is a 4-note chord that's symmetrical, whereas an augmented chord is a triad that is symmetrical. Now both the family of four and Coltrane changes work best over dominant structures, although they can be used elsewhere as well. So let's say we were in the key of C and we had a G dominant 7 chord. As we discussed in the Spice Up Your 2-5-1s video, you could use G7, B flat 7, D flat 7 and E7 if we were using the family of four technique. If we wanted to use the Coltrane changes, that would change to G7, B7 and E flat or D sharp 7. So let's return to the lick you heard at the start of this video and break it down. Now as always, I'm playing my 7-string guitar, so ignore the low B string nearest my face. Now this lick is a 2-5-1 in the key of A major. The first thing I want you to notice is that we're not really treating it as a 2-5-1. As again we discussed in the previous video, Spice Up Your 2-5-1s, we're treating it as a 5-5-1. We're bundling the two in with the whole dominant structure, and so this is, although it's B minor 7 and E7, we're treating it as E7, E7, A major 7. Now with that in mind, you'll notice that I've labelled the degrees of the chord here. All of the labelling you can see refers to the degrees as they relate to the E7 chord. So they're not relative to the key of A, those are all degrees of E7 until we get to the very end of the lick and it says tonic there. That's because we've returned to the A chord. So all of these, you can see how they relate to the root of the dominant chord E. Now the main structure that I used to build this lick is a major 7 sharp 11 chord, and specifically this voicing here. So I like this voicing, and it's got D, G sharp, C sharp and F sharp on the top. So it's got the 7 when we relate to E, the 7, the 3rd, the 13th or the 6th and the 9th. That's what it sounds like with an E in the root. So I'm thinking of it as a D major 7 sharp 11, but it's functioning as just an E7 voicing. And relative to the major 7 sharp 11 voicing, we have the root, the sharp 11, the major 7 and the 3rd. So that's going to be my structure that I'm using for all of the shapes of this lick. So it's always got to have a root, a 3rd, a sharp 11 and a major 7. You'll notice there's no 5th in this particular voicing, so I've omitted the 5th from all of the lines. Now, because we're going to be creating chromaticism using the Coltrane changes, if this is my root of D, I know I'm going to be using D, F sharp and A sharp or B flat. That's me going around the augmented triad. D, the major 3rd is F sharp, the major 3rd is A sharp or B flat. So I'm going to be using those degrees as the roots of all of my major 7 sharp 11 chords. Let's see what that looks like. So first off, as I've already explained, we've got this common voicing. Now this finishes on F sharp, which is one of our other possible roots, D, F sharp and A sharp. So I'm treating this as the first note of my second chord. So I've got here D, F sharp. Now I'm going to change direction, and I've already played the root. Remember, we needed the root, the third, the sharp 11 and the major 7. So I can simply go down a semitone, which I've got here on the 6th fret. I do a little trill just between the major 7 and the root. And then down to the 5th fret of the G string, which is C. That's the sharp 11. And A sharp, which is a third. So from that F sharp, I've now played all the degrees of my chosen chord voicing. The root, the major 7, the sharp 11, and the third. So I've got root of D, sharp 11, major 7, third. The third is also the root of F sharp. So that's my pivot note. Root, major 7, sharp 11, third. Now again, my other option going around the Coltrane changes was D, which I've done, F sharp, which I've done, and A sharp or B flat. Well, again, that's where we've just finished. So from there, I'm going to just descend through the same degrees again. Root, major 7, sharp 11, third. Now from there, I went down to the root and climbed up the same voicing as I started on. Now, I'm very nearly at the end of the lick, so I just needed something to get me back to the root. So I just descended through the scale of B flat, resolving to the root of A. So the whole lick without the trills is this. I'm going to play that again, and I'm going to say what I'm playing as I'm playing it. So first thing is a D major 7, sharp 11. Root, sharp 11, major 7, third. The third is also the root of the F sharp structure. So F sharp, major 7, sharp 11. F sharp, root, major 7, sharp 11, third. The third is also the root of an A sharp or a B flat structure. Root, major 7, sharp 11, third. Root, sharp 11, major 7, third. Second, root, back to the tonic of A, the one chord. So I think that's a pretty cool sound. Now what's even cooler is if you take all of the notes we used there and put them in order and turn them into a scale, this is what you get. Those were the only notes used in this lick. And anyone who's been following my channel recently will recognise that structure. As Messiaen's third mode. So this is a perfect example, as I mentioned in the Messiaen Mode 3 video, which you can watch up here, of how this scale relates to giant steps. Was this specific example I gave in that video, but the Coltrane changes in general. Both the scale and the Coltrane changes are interested in modulating around the augmented structure, every major third repeating itself. So I hope you found that helpful, and as always, don't go away and learn my specific lick. Take inspiration from the theory and please create your own using this concept. Let me know down in the comments if you liked that one and any other topics you'd like me to cover in the future. Please do give this video a like, subscribe, ding that notification bell, and share with any of your friends who can't solo over giant steps. And as always, I hope you're all doing very well, getting plenty of practice in, and I very much look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers!
Roll up, let me embed a story you'll never forget. A drip, drip, but drowning in debt now. You can't buy your way out, and I heard you find it difficult to cope well. Here